When OnlyFans briefly banned adult content, it sent shockwaves through the creator world, leaving many worried about their livelihoods. But while OnlyFans reversed its decision, that opened up the door for new platforms to step up and begin to rise. And one in particular, FanView, has been making a ton of waves, especially recently. It's not just a safer space for creators in general, but it's also a pioneer in the fast-growing world of AI-generated influencers. And I've talked about how it's one of the best and one of the easiest ways to monetize an AI influencer several times already on this channel. So I will link the entire FanView playlist at the bottom of the description if you want to check that out for more information. Now, if you're curious of how an AI model can rival real humans and how it all essentially works, I want to outline that strategy in this video. But to recap, let's cover how we essentially got here first. So in August of about 2021, OnlyFans made headlines by announcing that it would ban adult content on its platform. And for a site that's well known for giving creators a way to sell paid content and connect with fans, this was a huge shock at the time, especially since the majority of its content was adult-oriented at the time. And the sudden decision left countless creators anxious about their financial future. And although OnlyFans eventually, like we said, reversed the ban just a few days later, a lot of trust had already been lost, and many creators were left questioning how they could rely on a platform 100% that could just pull the plug on their livelihood with almost no warning. And with all this uncertainty, FanView began to gain more and more attention. It stepped in with a clear and simple promise, and it said essentially that it would support all creators, all content, no matter what they're producing, and it would never ban the adult material. Now, FanView since then has continued to grow and provide tons of opportunity, not just for creators of adult content, but also for creators of all kinds. And I've already talked about how you can monetize content around any niche before on this channel, literally showing countless examples of plumbers or jiu-jitsu tips and pages that have already worked very, very well. But currently, OnlyFans is still the much bigger player in the market with over 4 million creators. In contrast, FanView is estimated to only have hundreds of thousands of creators and around 5 million monthly visitors. But the piece of the pie that you can carve out is much bigger on this platform proportionally, and there's less competition and a large growing amount of users on it already. In short, it's a massive opportunity that's just in its infancy. Now, I've seen a few videos that claim that FanView is just another OnlyFans clone that, isn't as good. And I can understand why people are saying this in many ways. The two platforms do look similar on the surface. They offer similar opportunities to make money. Both give creators the chance to make money through monthly subscriptions, through tips, and one-time payments as well. However, in my opinion, FanView actually has some unique features that sets it apart. While OnlyFans has been often criticized for having a clunky interface and confusing search features, FanView was built by two former OnlyFans creators who understood that and improved on those flaws. And in my opinion, FanView has a much more user-friendly experience for both the creators and the fans. And one of FanView's most notable features is the ability for creators to upload a profile video that's visible to anyone. This means that creators can show off their personality and their content style directly on the platform rather than relying heavily and only on external social media sites like Instagram or wherever to promote their work. This makes it easier for creators to focus on the content and the community entirely within FanView, right? And it also means that their content can actually be found and joined by people already using the site too, which is a game changer. But perhaps the most interesting difference between the two platforms essentially is that FanView backs artificial intelligence and virtual influencers. Now, in the past few years, there's been a huge surge in the interest around AI-generated models and AI-generated influencers. These influencers look and feel like real people, but they're completely digital. And FanView is leaning heavily into this trend, seeing it as a massive growth opportunity, and it is already massive, and it's just continuing to grow. Now, one standout example of this is Atiana Lopez. She's a virtual influencer created by the Barcelona agency called Clueless. At the current time, she's already racked up about 364,000 followers on Instagram, despite not being a real person and being completely digital. She's already bringing in a ton of money thanks to FanView subscriptions, and that's not counting money that's monetized through affiliate deals, brand deals, and God knows what else. Now, on FanView alone, she has 25,000 followers already, and some of them pay $15 a month on average to see AI-generated content. Even though her profile clearly says she's digital and that she's powered by AI, the images in the posts are so realistic that most fans don't realize or they don't really care, which is crazy in my opinion. And to put it into perspective, if you take $15 and multiply it by 25,000 on average, right? That's $375,000 a month in subscription, which is again crazy. The rise of these AI influencers is more than just curiosity. It's becoming a major force in the creator economy. And virtual influencers now make up about 10% of the influencer market, which is estimated to be about $200 billion in worth. And that's only growing by the day. Now, FanView sees this as an incredible opportunity and is putting a lot of effort into becoming the go-to platform for AI-based creators. And it's hard to disagree with that. After all, it's pretty much the only one around that lets AI-based creators subscribe and build a community there. The fact that digital influencers can now have their own community and can now earn money, just like human influencers, opens up a ton of brand new opportunities that didn't exist just a few years ago. If you're still wondering why people would pay to follow an AI influencer who isn't real, I'd recommend checking out the other videos, like I said, that have been linked at the bottom of the description. I've done a full breakdown of the complete strategy involved in creating an AI influencer, involved in making the content, and driving essential interest around a specific niche to build momentum, build interest, and give value. I personally don't focus on adult content. I pick a niche specific topic, and then I like to build a following around that topic. But obviously, it's going to depend on what you're interested in, what you know about, and what you like. But as technology keeps evolving, and so do the ways that we connect, share, and make money online, platforms like FanView are making it possible for anybody, even AI influencers, to build an audience and make a living in the digital world. But it's clear that this is just the beginning, and whether you're a creator, a fan, or just fascinated by what's next, this is definitely a space, if not the space, to watch closely.